Welcome to Reread. We are on Book 3 of the X-Wing Rogue Squadron series called the Krytos Trap. Here, Tycho is on trial for being a traitor. He killed Corran Horn, or at least that's what they think. And about a quarter of this book is like a, it's the trial. It's a drama that's going on between showing his innocence or proving that he's guilty. And it's really good. Again, Stackpole kind of shakes things up. In Book 2, they're kind of infiltrating Coruscant, and it's a little bit of a spy novel. Well, now it's got some court drama in there, as well as the other half. Not the other half, but I should say another. This is kind of divided up into quarters here. The story is Corran on Lusanka. And he is trying to get, Assard is trying to mind-wipe him and make him a sleeper agent. But of course, Corran's too good for that. He fends it off. He befriends some other rebels who are stuck there. One is named Jan, who it's so obvious who this guy is. But I'll be honest, the first time that I read the series, I did not know until the very end who Jan really was. Even though Stackpole leaves the clues there. Jan says he's been there since the Battle of Yavin. He's an older man. He's trying to figure out what's going on with the rebellion in the Empire. He gets news from new prisoners that come in. Well, anyway, while Corran is planning his escape, Veru, who is someone from Black Sun who got freed from Kessel and released in the underworld of Coruscant, is working against the New Republic. And he takes on Agent Lore. And he and Agent Lore are going to try to take down and discredit the rebels. But Curtin Lore decides, this isn't worth it anymore. He decides to turn on Assard. He's tired of living in fear of her. And he's going to turn himself in. He goes to Tycho's lawyer, Vin, and reveals, I am Curtin Lore. I did not meet with Tycho. Tycho is not an agent. And you will have me on record for saying that if you give me diplomatic immunity, some money, an escape plan and everything. And so a deal is worked out with Curtin Lore to bring him into the trial. In the meantime, Elia's husband, Derek, has escaped Assard's capture. When they freed the planet, they freed him too. And he seems to be he's an older gentleman who's her husband and is a really nice guy, very insightful, and he believes in Tycho's innocence. And as they're bringing Curtin Lore to the trial via some kind of land speed or whatnot, Derek is there to greet them. And she's like, oh, what's he doing here? He's a sleeper agent. He tries to kill his wife. But he misfires on purpose because he tries to fight his own programming so his wife can take him out. Because he knows his wife's a good shot and can take him out. His wife is upset. She's trying to save him. But he's like, no, you did. You made me not a traitor. You killed me before I could do any real damage. He said, but I will tell you this. Tycho is no traitor. I know that. I know that for a fact because he gives his mission orders from Assard to his wife to prove Tycho's innocence. But man, there's a mountain of good proof that Tycho is innocent because Corran Horn, of course, escapes Lusanka, which is a super star destroyer which has been on the planet of Coruscant this whole time. They just built a city on top of it, so millions die as a super star destroyer takes off planet and escapes, and that's tragic too. But Corran, who doesn't even realize he didn't realize he was on a super star destroyer to the end, it gets right to court to prove that Tycho's innocent because while he escaped, he downloaded some files that proved Tycho was not an agent. So there's just heaps and heaps of stuff to prove he is not who he says he is. In fact, Corran Horn, of course, being the smartest person in the world, has already figured out who the traitor is. As Wedge Antilles has found out, on the comm, he reaches out to Admiral Akbar, who is at the trial too. He's kind of the judge of the trial. And he tells Akbar that he knows who the traitor is. And Corran just, does spoilers and goes, it's Irisi. And they go, what? How do you know? And, because Corran, I guess, is super smart, even though he got really fooled by Tycho being the traitor. And he apologizes to Tycho too. But anyway, it turns out that she's the traitor this whole time. She escapes with Assard on the Super Star Destroyer Lusanka. And Wedge is for sure that she is the traitor now. Therefore, another bit of evidence proving Tycho is not the traitor. There's so much evidence that any one of these would have been able to free him or prove his innocence, but they put all three back to back to back. So he's not the traitor, And it also talks about how General Kraken himself knew Tycho was not a traitor. He was just using him as bait so that the real traitor would feel at ease so that Kraken could continue his search for the real traitor in Rogue Squadron without that person, looking over their shoulder. So the whole thing it's a twist within a twist within a twist, which I remembered, I think, all of it. I don't think there's anything that came as a surprise to me of something I didn't remember from the first time reading it. But that's just because it was a really good twist. And I really enjoyed it. Reading it a second time is fine too, because you're happy to see things come together for Tycho. Corran isn't as annoying as he usually is, besides him knowing everything at the end. He even realizes that General Kraken was in on it too. And they give some roundabout reason for why, but because Corran got fooled so bad, Michael Stackpole had to make sure that everyone knows Corran Horn is still super smart. Okay, so I may still hate Corran a little bit in this book. Another part of the story deals with the relationship between Gavin and the Bothan Aesir, if that's how you say her name. I don't care how you pronounce it. But Aesir is approached by Wedge saying, hey, you're part of the Bothan military and everything, and you're all in Rogue Squadron, but eventually they're going to ask you to choose alliances, and you're going to have to decide who you're more loyal to. The Bothan community or Rogue Squadron. Well, that test comes up when Borsfila, who's in this and is excellent, I love Borsfila as a villain, he's trying to get Aesir to write a kind of false statements of a report of why Rogue Squadron's previous mission that was in this book went wrong, and he wants her to say it was human error, just to kind of hit back at the humans. She does write the report up, but gives it to Wedge and goes, I will do with it however you see fit, because I've chosen my alliance, and it's with Rogue Squadron. So that was nice to see. And then it has a part of her and Gavin's relationship, which is explored in this one too, which is fine. I mean, overall, the book is just excellent. At the end, Corran finds out that his grandfather was also a Jedi. Luke asked him to be a Jedi Knight because Luke almost gets on bended knee and begs Corran. No, he doesn't do that, but everything works out for Corran in the end. But Corran goes, "No, I have a job to do. I must stop Isard and Isiri. I must stop them." But Borsfila reminds Rogue Squadron that they can't do that because they have a mission to go after Warlord Zens and not chase after Isard. So, one by one, all the rogues quit. And and Corran owns his own X-Wing, and Mirax is saying that she's going to, using money put into Tycho's account to make him look guilty by Isard. They're going to use Isard's money, that is now Tycho's, to buy more ships so that they can go after Isard. And for some reason, Borsfila is okay. I mean, he's not okay with it. He's mad at them all for quitting. But wouldn't you think they go, okay, hold on, let's get back with Akbar and Mon Mothma and let's talk about this? No, it's just, that's how it ends. They all quit because they're going really rogue. I guess, I don't know. I don't mind this because I know how it ends, but I just got to admit, I love this story. It's a prison break storyline mixed with a court drama, mixed with, kind of a love story and a conflict of loyalties. With Aesir and Gavin, and there's just a lot going on in the mix here that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this. Again, this series is excellent, and it just keeps getting better. All right, folks, that's it for now. See you next time.